So the first question you've asked me is, why did I start a speed striking challenge? Basically, during the lockdown for COVID-19, I could see all around me that people were suffering, not just mentally and emotionally, but physically. People were not exercising. Some people were getting depressed because they lost their jobs and they still had families to support and rents that they couldn't pay. My own business had to close for 5 weeks, but I know that some people did it much harder than that. So I'm always watching Grandmaster John Mack's YouTube channel. And every year for the last 15 years, I've been training at headquarters in Cebu. And I was looking forward to my trip this year. I was due to go in June and do a solid training with Grandmaster John Mack. But because of the crisis and the travel bans, that training's been postponed. So I was thinking, how can I create another way to support my instructors in the Philippines? And they rely on international travellers like myself. It's basically, that's how they pay for their livelihoods, and they impart such incredible skills to us. So I was just thinking, without a 3D training partner, how can we make something happen? And I've been teaching my own students in Melbourne via Zoom for several weeks now since the lockdown. And I just started to evolve the idea, and I asked Grandmaster John if he would accept my challenge, which he did. We're the same age, and I just remember this conversation we had in 2016, early 2016. So Grandmaster John's 4 months older than me. And I remember asking him that year, it was after Manokir's funeral. I was in Cebu in February 2016, and after that we had a World Championship event, and I asked if he was competing, and he said to me, "Oh, Master Andrea, the body changes after 40. And I remember at the time thinking, what's he talking about? Like, I was 39 at the time, a few months shy of 40. And now I know, here we both are, we're 44, and I thought, if not now, when? So let's do it. And I asked him if he would participate in this challenge match, and together we've worked really hard to make this a fun event for Escrimadors all around the world. We then went forward and asked Grandmaster Anton to be our independent adjudicator, which he accepted, and we're so happy to have him, and Grandmaster Mike Barker as our MC. So we've just got some amazing and other esteemed Grandmasters who are supporting this event. So also I'm really grateful to Guru Rob Bryant, who's in my club in Melbourne. He's been doing incredible media and all those funny posters that you guys are seeing. So when I look at Grandmaster John and how much he's given to students all around the world, he's patiently sacrificed his time and his skills, and I really want to give something back to respect the lineage of Manokir and the Kanyedi family. So there's the answer to the first question.
Good day. So we have questions here I need to answer. So what do you like about the speed striking challenge? The speed striking challenge started 2nd day of May 2020 during the pandemic COVID-19 crisis. The idea of Master Andrea Whitley from Capricorn University Paris, Melbourne, because we keep changing messages, because she is planning to come by June on June 2020 for one-on-one training with me, but unfortunately the international and domestic flights were cancelled due to this pandemic crisis, COVID-19. So she brought up this idea, how about if we could just continue our training by hitting the pile of tires or the dummy. So like she's asking if I can do this. I have to make my tires, if I have a tires to hit or to strike with. Then I look for my dummy, and I found out that at the backyard I have a tree there. Then I wrap it with my body armor, for Screama, then that's the birth of Dam Dam. So I used that as a hitting target. So the receiving end of my strike is Dam Dam. Then what do I like about the speed striking challenge? At that moment, it's lift up my spirit, because at that time I'm so down and like trying to motivate myself to focus on one thing. And this speed striking challenge helps a lot to give uh, give back my spirit to train back during quarantine time. So yes, I have a goal. I need to prepare myself for the contest. So I am given 3 weeks to prepare myself uh, before the contest, before the final. So yeah, I like it. And
So the next question, what do I like about the speed striking challenge? There's so much I like about this challenge. I love the fact that it's remote and you can have an opponent, but like any opponent, in a real fight situation, they're just there as a gift to us to help bring the best out of us. The real battle is with ourselves. So like in any fight, it's getting your mind and body to work together in harmony, and on the day of competition, 80% of it really is in your mind. If you have done your physical training or your homework, that's all covered. So I've had 70 full contact stick fights over the years, and I love the excitement, I love the speed, I love the explosiveness. And when you train with the dummy, you can still generate that same feeling of excitement, and you're striving to perfect your striking combinations, your fluidity and your speed. So it's a never-ending process. You can always improve. I also love the fact with this competition that our supporters don't need to travel. So most of my tournament fights have been outside of Australia over the years, and as a result, most of my family members and close friends have never seen me fight. But that would involve them having to travel, put themselves up into a hotel, etc. Up in a hotel. Most of my supporters now can watch, and Grandmaster John John, who has a huge fan base, as he should, they support us via Zoom. It's amazing. So we've got lots of people all around the world watching us from their lounge room or on the go. It's just so cool. I love the collaboration we've created between Grandmaster John John and myself and the Grandmasters who are helping us to achieve this new style of competition. It's a whole new platform, so we've had to be really open to new ways of making it work and how we can constantly improve. And just like Manum Kakoi always said, the only constant in Eskrima is change. So when we think of opponents, especially in fighting competitions, it often conjures up images of two people who don't like each other, or they're wanting to hurt each other. And in this instance, there's nothing that could be further from the truth. Grandmaster John John is a mentor to me. He's also like a big brother in martial arts. I have been really blessed. I've got lots of brothers in the spirit of Filipino martial arts. They're not blood brothers, we're united by the passion of this incredible art that Manum Kakoi has passed down and imparted on us. So I believe we have a responsibility to keep the art of Supreme Grandmaster Kakoi alive. He was so advanced that most of us are still battling to catch up and understand the depth of his methods now. I think in our lifetime, probably none of us are going to come close to achieving the level that Manum Kakoi achieved, but we can try and find ways to continue and practice his legacy. So many times
Then we have a second question. How has it helped your skill development and training in Eskrima? It helps a lot because I began to train by myself, and it's more about mind conditioning, mind training, because you don't have any training partner, and also it gives an idea. It's explore different dimensions of training, way of training in Eskrima. It helps a lot. It open the bigger dimension of Eskrima. It really adds on my knowledge. I could help some people doing Eskrima training without any training partner. So that's really help a lot in my skill development and training in Eskrima.
So I've always been really old school, and basically I wrote this paper a couple of years back where I was talking about the fact that while there's a time and place for online learning, martial arts is a skill set that needs to be practiced in a three-dimensional setting. And then I went on to quote Senior Grandmaster Anthony Kleeman in saying that repetition is the mother of skill, and all skills are perishable without regular practice. So basically online courses are great for a refresher, useful to break down moves and review the material multiple times. But when it comes to learning about oneself, testing your physical and emotional limits, putting your skills to the test on training partners of different sizes and different shapes, and not to mention testing out our nervous system and how we react under pressure, nothing can substitute three-dimensional training. I refer to Miyamoto Musashi. So in the 1600s, obviously never went online to learn how to win his battles, and Raja Lapu-Lapu when he slaved Ferdinand Magellan in 1521 on the island of Mactan in the Philippines. So we basically live in an era where people can date online, they can learn a recipe online, they can play a good game of chess, but martial arts is a three-dimensional practice. And if I quote Guru Rob Bryant from our club, he says there's no badass app that you can download. It's really just the whole blood, sweat and tears. But creating the speed striking challenge was really the brainchild of necessity. It's really proven to be a vehicle for self-development in the art of Eskrima. And I love the fact that it's been uniting Eskrima from all over the world. It's a really beautiful thing, I think, since Supreme Grandmaster Kakoi really created one big family with Kakoi Kanyeri Dose Paris. The next question is, how has it helped my skill development in solo training? So I think that solo training is really important for every martial arts practitioner. We develop the discipline to lead ourselves rather than always relying on being spoon-fed. But having said that, having a mentor like Grandmaster John is essential if you want to keep growing. Eventually, when you just train alone, you're going to stagnate. What do I see as the future for the Speed Striking Challenge? I hope that this challenge event goes many years into the future. It's a perfect way to keep up your skills and fitness. You can achieve your best. It's also really good before tournaments because your body sometimes needs a rest. If you've got fractured bones or multiple bruises, they need to heal before you go into a fight. Also, sometimes your training partners are injured, so being able to train with a dummy is a really good idea. And I'm really excited. We've already got 2 new contestants coming up for the next challenge, which we'll announce later today. Is there anything you'd like to tell our spectators about this type of solo training? So I would just say don't be afraid to give it a go. It's so much fun. The only disappointment you'd have is if you don't try it. Make sure you've got a good mentor like Grandmaster John Mack. He'll take you through the relevance of the strikes. He also makes it really relevant to a sparring situation. So he'll talk about what the opponent will be doing with their left hand and how you can counter that, how you can evade that, how you can control that. So you can always apply this later on when you're working with a sparring partner, even though we're only using strikes in this particular challenge. But without leaning on the experience of someone like Grandmaster John Mack, it's too difficult to join all the dots together. So make sure you've got a mentor. And yeah, it's really fun. So everyone should give it a go. Okay, thanks so much for supporting us, guys. We really appreciate it. And we hope you enjoy today. See ya.
Third question, what do you see for the future of the speed striking challenge? I could see in the future it's gonna be a successful event, and I could see, I do hope it will explore more, propagate more with new contestants, with different participants, and yes, that's all. Fourth question, is there anything you'd like to tell our spectators about this type of solo training? All I can say is that you still have the excitement, the feeling of you are nervous, and the adrenaline still pump up. So it's quite exciting, and there are people also, they are not they don't like full contact sparring, sports full contact sparring. They don't like that one. They do only forms, katas, or sayaw. But here you can express yourself also by hitting the dummies. So you can participate even you doesn't like the full contact sparring in Eskrima. And this is a new way of expressing yourself in a way of competitions or contests, and you still have the feeling of excitement, the thrills about the result still there, and you will like it. Come and visit our Facebook page, Speed Striking Challenge 2020, and you can probably get some ideas, and probably in the future you will be the one of the contestants. Thank you and good day.